So this is an overview of the course template that we've pushed to the course commons for the Lebanon School District. And you'll be able to import the content from this template into a sandbox, and then you can adjust it for your own course. Now, I will say that this is a work in progress. We were hoping to have a template provided from Canvas themselves, but it hasn't arrived yet. So what I've done is I've put all the main pieces together, and some instructions of what you should have. You do not have to have exactly the say the buttons that I've included here, and you'll be able to read the instructions of which ones do you need to have and which ones do you have discussion with your grade band, and you have some freedom in terms of changing what those graphic buttons might look like. But then you could also just use the ones that are here if you just need something to get you started. So let's go ahead and dive in. It's kind of an overview, walkthrough. We're going to hit a bunch of stuff. So here we go. And so the very first page that you're going to see is really, it's an instruction page. It's not necessarily what your home page should look like. Just coming right down here to this third paragraph or section, you'll see that there are 3 or 4 different examples of what, say, a kindergarten homepage could look like, and there's actually 2 different examples and why you might choose one or the other. And this is something that has to be discussed with and decided upon at the grade band level. So the kindergarten teachers need to decide, we're going to use this kind of menu, we're going to use that kind of menu. So I'll just click up here and show you. So it gives you some instructions. And so this one is an example of a menu that is taking you to the different parts of, say, a module. So maybe you'll go to the current week here, just a Zoom link. This could be a module page, a module with parent links, and so on and so forth. Whereas in this template takes a different approach, and this is a graphic navigation of the subjects. And so again, this is all within one course for the kindergartners. All other 1st through 12th teachers, you'll have subject-specific courses or course-specific subjects. But these would take you to either a page that you're dealing with math and a page that you're dealing with social studies, or even you could do it a module that deals with math, so on and so forth. And so there's a little bit of choice there. And all of these graphics are loaded into your files once you download or import this template. And so you'll see here you have buttons, and all of these are there so that you can then use them how you need to, and you can replace them. What I've also done here is this first 2 links right here says you can, if you like the buttons but you want to change the text, what it will do is it'll take you out to a Canva document, and you can use the template to then edit it. And so you could change the words in there, change the color, whatever you need to. And we have that for both the subject navigation as well as the course item navigation. And so those are just some ones that you can play with. There's also some ones that are out there in the world already. I've seen some good ones. And so the key thing with graphic navigation, and this is in the text, is that you have to make sure that it can be clearly read. And so putting like words over a picture or an actual photo isn't really a good idea unless you have like a text box that has that clear or that solid color background. Something like that might be fine, depending. But really, you want to make it so that it's very, very easily readable. What I encourage you to do is to read through each part of this page. You'll notice that up here at the top, it tells you what items your homepage needs to have, and every single course should start at a homepage, not a module page. And then you'll have different links, whether you go with the this kind of style where you're looking at different items inside the course. So for example, if I click on Learn here, it actually takes me to the modules. Okay, and you can link to individual modules. If I click on Zoom, it's going to take me to the Zoom page with the Zoom links and whatnot, and so on. And so whether you're using this type of navigation or this type of navigation, you just again want to make sure that they're very clear and easy to read. Okay. So those are like the kindergarten. If you were to look at the first through eighth, you'll see that there's a slightly different example because it includes both the course navigation and the subject navigation. And so here's the thinking with that. Let's say that you are a second grade teacher. Well, each of your subjects is going to be a separate course. It has to be because of the grade book, and that's a decision that's already been made. But we want to make it super, super simple for parents and students. And so every single subject, we want you to have this menu. And again, you could change the graphics, but this menu on every single subject. So for example, if I'm in my math course, I see this at the bottom and I realize, oh, it's 8:35. I can click here and it's going to take me to the social studies course. And when I'm in the social studies course, it looks the exact same. And so each one of these would be a link to the different courses so that it's almost like faking for the students that you're in one big course, where even though they are linking between courses, making it super, super simple. But you might have both of these. So these links here might be course specific, that you've actually adjusted them to be math links or science links or so on. And maybe you don't have all of these in each one. Maybe you have a homeroom, that first course that has like office hours. But the key thing is that you need to make sure you are talking with your grade band right here. Should have consistent elements with others in your grade band. So the middle school team courses should all have similarities and so on and so forth. Again, use graphics and imagery wisely, and you should not have needless or extraneous items which might distract the student. What I mean by that is you shouldn't have just a bunch of graphics that don't mean anything. Even your banner should be somewhat purposeful. It shouldn't take up half the page, that kind of thing. Some students are going to be loading this on mobile devices. Some students are going to have a rural, low speed connection, and so be thinking of that. I'm not going to read through all of it. Whoops, sorry. I'm not going to read through all this because you can read through it on your own. But make sure you click on each of the links, and that will give you the different homepage views. Again, here's a high school homepage. It might look like this, which is just the graphics. And you might have more. You might have your picture. You might have, instead of having a page that has contact information, you have it right here on this. You just want to talk to your grade band as a team and then decide what is it that we're going to include. And again, there's links to adjusting these particular buttons. Now I'm going to go into the module view just so that you can see what's available there. And I'll just click here, learn. And I could have just clicked module, but and so you'll see 2 or 3 different things here. You're not going to keep all of this. I've put more than what you really need, and then you can delete. First, it's how to use this template. That's talking more about the module. And so here, it's really about how you should create your own template module that you can then use for each of your assignments. And my suggestion there is get your header set up and any icons you're going to use. As well as maybe create an actual assignment, because then you'll know what elements you want to have in there, and then duplicate it and delete all the items so that you can easily change it. So read through that. Here, all the available icons, and you can use other icons as well, but these are all icons that have been taken from flaticon.com, and so you don't have to worry about referencing it or anything. And what I've done is I've included a small version and a large version. And so a large version might be used as like the center of a page. So for example, if I have an assignment and I want to call attention to that, I might have it at the center of the page so that the student sees that right away. Whereas the smaller icon might be used, for example, let's pull up this page right here. You can see how there are small icons here kind of pointing out to what kind of task they're being asked to do, and they are named based off of what they would be used for. Again, you don't have to use these icons, but they're here. And when you download when you import this course template, all these files are going to automatically go into your files. So you don't even have to insert it. You can literally just copy this, hit copy image, and go and paste it into your individual page. So if I was here and I wanted to change, let's just say, change this icon out. So I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to come here, and I'm just going to delete that. And I'm just going to hit paste. It's pulling that file from the file system inside of this course. And so that image is going to show up. And so that's basically how you would do it, is that as long as you're copying it from within that course, it's going to find out where it's going to link to that specific icon. So this is just a faster way of doing it. And what I tend to do is I would have this open, and maybe I have an edit page over here, and then my icons over here, so that I can just quickly copy them and paste them depending on how I want to use them. Okay. But going back out here to the template, so this module is kind of how a middle school or high school, or maybe an upper elementary might do it, because it's subject specific. And so here we got the unit overview with the essential question and so on and so forth. Whereas this kind of follows an elementary style of doing a week by week. And I've just thrown in a couple templates in here that you can then duplicate and move. And so the students would see, let's say this is, week 5, and you have the dates in there. These files you would delete, or at least not have published. And then you would link to the module, and they would work down. And so they would be, okay, today's Tuesday, so they'd click in there, and they would just be able to go next. And again, I can't say this enough, is what, as a grade band, are you going to do? Are you going to follow the week style, or so that this might be good for K1 and 2? Are you going to follow the unit style? And really, if you're, let's say you're a subject teacher, you can do both. And what I mean by that is that you could organize your content this way. And then what you do is you just have, say, a current week. And I'm just going to throw a date in there. And it went to the bottom, so I'm just going to drag it up. Okay. And so what you do is you have your stuff organized here, and then as you're coming to that week, you just drag it up, and this is what's seen. So you have this, that didn't work. There you go. And so you'd have this module published, and these modules unpublished, so that your students only see that current week, or maybe 2 or 3 weeks, to just minimize it. But then you might have all of your units set up already. That takes a little bit more hands-on approach, because you're going to have to drag things or change things. You could change the names, but that is one way of keeping it organized. Okay, so just going back out here to the homepage, I encourage you to look through the different homepage options. Consider how you're going to adjust it. Start talking to your grade band team about what are those consistent graphic icons you're going to have on it, whether it's the subject or the course items. And again, you're free to change them as long as they're visible. And if you're doing, say, middle school, where you're all doing the same subject, or you're doing different courses per subject, that you have the same graphics on each person's course. So I hope this has been helpful. Please ask questions. I know that you want answers, and we're trying to provide them as best we can. And I know this isn't as good as having the entire template available, but we will update it as we get more pages done. Thanks.